Gundam.tk presents Wing Gundam. Hey, how you doing everybody? This is Robert184 from Gundam.tk, and today I have a review of the high-grade 1/100th Wing Gundam from the anime Gundam Wing. And the cool thing about this is that as of April 2010, this is going to be replaced by a master grade 1/100th version of the same mobile suit. But anyway, let's take a look at what this was so we can see how far Bandai's come with their newer kits. This kit came out in 1995, and it sells for the price you can see down there of 1,500 yen. The anime Gundam Wing was the first to bring prominence to the Gundam franchise in North America anyway, so a lot of people will have a lot of affection for this kit and may have bought it during the Gundam Wing craze in the 1990s all around North America and Europe. Newer fans of Gundam plastic models are probably more familiar with high grade, meaning 1/44th models. And this is the first in the series, but in 1995, 1/100th kits were denoted as high grade because at the time, actually in April, this was the best kit that Bandai had ever put out. But of course that was going to be topped in July of 1995 when they released the Master Grade Gundam. For a look around the box, we have a front shot of the first lead Gundam from the anime, a back shot there showing off, of course, the titular, that's a funny word to pronounce sometimes, the wings on the back, and they're red, white, and gold in this case, some story information, some information about the kit and the anime itself, and this is number 1 in the series, and here we've got the Shenlong Gundam and the Gundam Deskai, I don't even know how to say that, which is 2 and 3 in the series, and of course Wing Zero would come out later. On the other side of the box, it shows that you can transform this from mobile suits mode into what they call bird mode. And when you do that, you'll notice that there's clear green parts that you can attach for a whooshing effect as it flies through the sky. It also shows off some of the features here, which is the Buster Rifle. It has leg thrusters there. It comes with a clear green beam saber to go along with the clear green effect parts. And they call it the Search Eye, which is sort of just like a shiny jewel there. And then we have some more information. The manual itself just has a good clean cover shot here of the model. And when you open it up, you're going to get some story, some line art, explanation. That's exciting. And then it's going to talk about here the front view, the specs, the rear view, the cockpit system, as well as some information here on bird mode. And when you actually get to the work of the manual, you're going to have the A1 and A2 plates, B, C, D, E, and then the F parts is clear green, and you're actually going to have clear green polycaps along with the effect parts here and the beam saber. And after that, you're going to have a page of instructions, a splash page of color showing off the pilot, Hiro Yui, in his trademark green shirt. And then, wow, this Gundam has a face. I'm impressed. In between the shoulders and the neck here, we have machine cannons here, the Buster Rifle with some gold on it, the beam saber in clear green, and again, there it is in both of its modes. Moving on, you've got very simple directions, and you'll notice that when you're putting this whole thing together, this is a very simple old kit. Nothing like an inner frame, nothing fancy like that. And on the back pages, it shows you how to put it all together, and then how to transform it into bird mode, which is not very complex. And on the back, we do have a color guide with no actual colors, just written words. So once you've put all the parts together, you're going to get the leg with feet attached, you're going to get the waist section, the chest section, you're going to get the arms and shoulders, which are one piece, you're going to get the rifle, you're going to get a shield, the head of course, and you're going to get the backpack with the wings attached, and the clear green effect parts over here, including an all green beam saber. So the first thing I want to say is when you take a look at the legs is welcome to the mid-90s, when Bandai decided that if we put in a bunch of channels and you buy Gundam markers, you can make our models look cool. And at the time they're right, but right now they've sort of gone back the other way to the minimalist approach to lining. But at this time, you have to line everything to make this look good. But to business with the legs will bend this much, so you're going to get a 90 degrees, no much more. It has a thruster here that can pivot up and down. This is lining here, and the big complaint for me is that you'll notice the seam lines right down the front. So you just pop on 2 pieces here and 2 pieces here, and that was mid-90s technology, and because of that, you're going to have a big ugly line there. I put some panel lining in there. The ankle isn't bad. It twists this far off to the side. It has a separate guard, and the foot can bend down, which we'll use in bird mode. The waist is nothing more than just big pieces of plastic that you slap on. You just put on some side skirt here. The back skirt is one solid piece. It's just got a peg up there, and then on the front you're just going to attach the skirt, which does move independently, and you can put lining on everywhere, but I already put on enough lining, I think. Now the other thing that was probably really cool in the mid-90s is that they give you shiny gold bling on this Wing Gundam. And it's not something that was in the anime. This should be yellow, and so should this. But, you know, the gold effect doesn't look all that bad when it's put all together, but I do always prefer my models to look more like the anime. For the rest of the chest, you'll notice that there's a white sticker here that is peeling off, so you just have a solid red piece at the bottom. Gold-plated parts here. Cool, this is a sticker, actually, for the shiny green jewel. And look at that white sticker sitting on there, not all that well formed. Here we've got the machine cannons, and you've just got solid shoulders, no movement there. You can see the seams, and that's where you're going to slap on the backpack. My first impression of the arms is that they actually look pretty good, but in practice, I think they're pretty horrible actually. You can see that the upper part of the arm here is just two pieces put together with a gray polycap, and inside you can just see a hint there of the clear green polycaps. I'm glad that these aren't stickers. This is actually a white piece surrounded by blue pieces, but the problem is in the elbow because you can bring it up here, although the claw gets in the way a little bit, but in general it spins around way too loosely. The arms just have a peg here for the shield. You're going to be able to flip this up, and the wrists have a bend mechanism inside there. The fingers are a standard 3+1 for the trigger finger, but this is incredibly loose, and so is the elbow, which is going to cause a lot of weight issues as soon as you try to put a weapon in hand. But what about the famous wings? Well, first of all, you're just going to have just a solid gray part here, one part that you put in there, polycaps, so not a very strong hinge mechanism, but actually it's not a big problem. So you're able to bring the wings this far, and you can bring them forward as well. Of course, the body's going to get in the way, and that won't happen. The polycap won't pop out when it's on the body. The wings have, again, clear gold here where it should be yellow, lots of lining on the white, and then the red parts, and they can bend independently. The gold and white, and the red one can bend this much. The head is not too bad, and it actually has good channels if you want to put in some black lining there. Maybe I did it a little bit thick. But anyway, if you look inside, you can see that there's a clear part there, so if you wanted to paint black around the eyes, you could actually have clear green eyes, and you'll notice that there's a clear green camera up at the top. Gold plates here again for the V-fin, and you'll see my poor job of lining. The V-fin does want to fall off on occasion, so you've got to be a little bit careful with that, but they didn't use seal, so I have to give them props for that. The shield, however, is a big disappointment, mostly just because of it's just a big fat piece of red, and you do put in some white pieces here, but this whole edge should be white, and they could have done that by just having a white base that you put a red piece on top, but they were too cheap. So you're going to have to paint that, and because of that, I think the shield actually looks just like a monocolor block most of the time. This is a cheap green sticker, which is supposed to be what, the cockpit or the eyes of it in bird mode, but it falls off all the time. The Buster Rifle looks cool, if only for the fact that they just added a little bit of bling here down at the bottom, and as far as moving parts, it's really just two pieces put together, and then you're going to be able to move the trigger mechanism up and down depending on where it is in the hands. And a big hooray for single color beam sabers. At least it is clear green. That's going to be hidden in the hand when you've got it there, but that should be white, so you'll have to paint that to get that right. And finally, whoosh goes the effect parts. You're going to get 4 of them in total. Well, I'll wrap up part 1 there, so that's the part. Stay tuned for part 2 to see this all put together. And while you're at it, don't forget to check out the review of the Master Grade, which I'll have up very soon, and I'll also be doing a review of the high grade 1/100th Wing Gundam 0, the second lead suit from the anime. Anyway, as always, everybody, thanks for watching. Robert184. See you next time. Well, I hope my upcoming Master Grade is a little bit better than you. Oh.